Good afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. I hope you guys are well. Long time no see. Sorry we've been a bit quiet. I've been on holiday. Went away with the wife, the child and some friends to a lovely cottage in Rye in East Sussex, which was all very nice. Back to work today, back on an early shift, so back down to earth with a bump. Anyway, work's out the way. I've got home, I've got the house to myself, so it's time to record a video, and a very special one too. Every now and again, I say this quite often actually, a perfume comes along and knocks your socks off, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And it's another one from the French house Musicology, who are a brand that are sort of tying music and perfume together to a devastating effect. I did review this one earlier in the year, which is Sun Goddess by Natalie Lawson. Fantastic fragrance, probably my favourite beachy fragrance, and certainly one that I wear an awful lot. Now, I was incredibly lucky. Earlier in the year I got to sample the entire collection, and I was speaking to the brand, and originally I love Sun Goddess, so I said that was my favourite, and they very kindly sent me a bottle for review. And then we were chatting again, and they said, we'd like to do another video. What was your other, what other ones did you love? And it's really difficult when you say all of them. They're all amazing, and I mean that genuinely. Sampling the entire collection was a real treat, because there isn't a perfume that they've released that I don't dislike. That I dislike, that I wouldn't love to own. So they sent another one over, and this one is called Close to Midnight, and it's kind of, well, I mean, the perfume itself is absolutely delicious. It's amazing, it's gorgeous, it's sexy, it's, I think, my perfect date night fragrance. Now, Musicology have created a bit of a problem for me with Close to Midnight, and I'll tell you for why. I've got a large collection of perfumes, well, that's obvious, and what I like to try and do is keep them in categories, so it may be all from one house, or some from one nose, or one perfumer. But I also like to keep collections of perfumes together that contain a common note. So I've got like a tuberose section, a cinnamon section, a leather section, because it helps me select a perfume, or if I'm going to do a video, 10 leathers or 10 of this or 10 of that. It really works well. So the first problem we've got is Nascimato's Pardon is my ultimate date night fragrance. I love it. My wife loves it. My wife loves it. I mean, my wife doesn't actually like to wear this one, but she likes it on me. So, I don't know. This is a very special perfume to me. And then we have my favourite coffee fragrance, which is Atkinson's The Other Side of the Oud. This has been my favourite coffee fragrance for some time now, and I absolutely adore this one. But the problem we've got is Close to Midnight has got coffee in it, and I already prefer it to The Other Side of the Oud. I mean, I still love this, don't get me wrong, but I would grab this one over this one. So this is kind of knock this one off the top spot. And then it comes to the date night question, because this to me is fast becoming the perfect date night fragrance. I don't know, my wife, I can tell you now straight away for a fact that my wife prefers this on me to Pardon, and she wears this, so she's already, she much prefers this to Pardon. For me, Pardon is a very special fragrance, so I don't know if it's ever going to replace it as a fragrance, but as a date night fragrance, I think this one may well have pushed into the lead. It is that good, and I think that highly of it. So what we'll do now is I'm going to spray a bit. Actually, let's have a look at the bottle. The bottles are beautiful, they're heavy, they're big, they're very simplistic, but they work really well. They've got a really heavy cap, a little record that hangs on them, if you can see that there. Just smooth, clean glass. They come in a lovely plain black box with some foam padding in. They're a luxury fragrance, let's be honest. But the atomizers are really good. Just everything about them is perfect. So what I'm going to do now, I've just basically rushed in from work, had a quick shower, and I've applied it. But I'm already going to apply some more, because I absolutely love this devastating opening. So let's just spray a little bit more now. Be a bit heavy with it actually, because I adore this. And then I'll put that down there. We'll go through the notes. We'll talk a bit about the perfume, who can wear it, where it's suitable, that kind of thing. As you can gather, I love this perfume. This is going to be a very positive review. At the top, we have coffee, we have jasmine, we have tonka bean, we have labdanum, we have ambergris, and we have musk. Now, that's a really interesting mix. I don't seem to recollect many perfumes that use a floral and a coffee. And what Close to Midnight does is absolutely mashes the two together to beautiful, beautiful effect. So you have this sweet, kind of fresh, airy floral with a bitterness of coffee, but it's not like a dark espresso where it's all about the coffee. It's kind of like a creamier espresso, so you've still got a little bit of the bitterness and a little bit of the sweetness, but what it does is it crunches together and grinds in with this floral to give you some of both, but not too much of either. You smell it and you're definitely getting a floral and you're definitely getting a coffee, but then it's really, really clever because this delicious, unctuous tonka bean just sits under it, creaming out everything and making it all so, it's a gourmand, but it's just so lovely. And what happens is the tonka just supports everything and just adds to that sort of unctuousness of the whole thing. It's creamy, it's delicious, it's inviting, it's actually sexy, and that's a really weird thing. Jasmine, coffee and tonka bean, it's really difficult to get your head around the concept of these three notes making the smell that they make. As I say, you'll get a creamy coffee with a hint of a floral, or sometimes it's more of a floral with a bitterness, but still that sweet creaminess comes through together. It's a really, really clever perfume, but it doesn't smell. If only you could scratch the screen and smell it, then you get what I'm trying to convey. Because you can pick out all three of those notes, but they're not in the way that you think they're going to be. It's just such a clever perfume. You have labdanum underneath it, which ties together with the ambergris. Now, sometimes labdanum is really resinous and really sweet and sticky and all the rest of it. And other times it can be, it's almost like an ambrox or ambergris style material. So I think what it does is it gives a little bit of a resinous base to this, but it also adds to that slight saltiness from the ambergris, because if without that salty base, it would probably become a little bit too much. So you've got this balance. Now, I said on Instagram the other day when I was talking about this perfume that there's a saltiness to it that kind of stops it going one way or the other. It just balances it out, and I really stand by that because that's what you're getting. And then you have a clean and airy musk that kind of runs all the way through the perfume. It doesn't really appear or disappear, it's just permanently there. It becomes a little bit more noticeable, I suppose, in the dry down, but it just adds to it. It makes the perfume complete. It's such a delicious perfume. It's an absolute delight to wear. If I grab it first, I'll wear it. My wife will say, "You smell great." And if my wife grabs the bottle first and she wears it, she smells fantastic. This is one of those awkward ones. If we were to go out for a nice meal or go out for a lovely evening out together, a romantic evening or something like that, we would both want to wear it, which can't happen because that's just absolutely ridiculous. So it would be a case of, while we're getting ready, whoever gets ready first and grabs it gets to wear it. It is that good. I mean that. It's such a beautiful perfume. Now, Musicology have got 7 perfumes in the collection, and as I say, they're all absolutely superb. This one, though, it just, I don't know, there's something quite magical about it. Obviously, the music tie over Close to Midnight, it's inspired by Michael Jackson's Thriller. We're not going to use the music because YouTube will shut us down, and I'm not going to sing it because we're trying to grow the channel, not shrink it. And trust me, if you've ever heard me sing, you will not be amused. In fact, you will be quite horrified. I remember years ago, Rich and I were mucking about, and I did a little bit of singing for in his recording studio, and it was an abomination. It was such a bad idea. So that will never happen. I'm tone deaf and I'm completely flat as well. So I'm not going to be attempting to sing this song, and we're not going to be attempting to use the music because YouTube will shut us down. But trust me, this whole idea of the thrill, the Close to Midnight thing, it works so perfectly with this wonderful, wonderful perfume. I think Close to Midnight is the perfect date night fragrance. I think it smells fantastic on a guy and it smells phenomenal on a gal. So it's just I don't know, it's just a perfect perfume. In terms of who can wear it, I think we've answered that question. Anybody that likes perfume can wear this. Any age group can wear this. It's just devastatingly beautiful. In terms of performance, it's so well behaved. It has presence and it's quite loud for those, when you first apply it, you think, oh, this is going to be too strong. but it drops off quite quickly, but it never goes away. It's one of those perfumes that's always got a little bit of a sillage around you, and it always sits above your skin. It lasts a good 7 or 8 hours. I've worn it to work, as not because I'm in love with my colleagues or anything like that. It's just, it's a really good way for me to test a perfume out. Wearing a fragrance to work, because I know exactly how long I'm going to be at work. I know exactly how long I'm going to be out and about. And that's my way of gauging performance. And wearing this to work was an absolute treat. I was daydreaming throughout my entire shift, to be honest. I didn't really get much work done, but I was just sort of carrying myself away with this wonderful fragrance. I'm sorry this has been a really gushing review, but it needed to be done because this is an incredibly special perfume. For me to be talking about a perfume with the same kind of intensity that I talk about one of my favourites of all time will give you an idea of just how much I rate this perfume. It's one that I personally think anyone that likes a semi-sweet gourmand perfume will love it. There's nothing in here to dislike. But perfume being such a personal thing, you will need to sample it. I wouldn't advocate blind buying any of these. They're quite expensive. They're very much a luxury niche product. So they're quite expensive perfumes. So I would never advocate the blind buying of them. Joe Voy in Mayfair actually introduced me to the brand. And then my friend Irma, who's got a fantastic page on Instagram, which I think is L'amour of perfumes. We'll put the link up to her page because if you're not following her, if you're on Instagram and you're not following Irma, you're really missing out. Her art, the artistry in her photography is fantastic, and her love of perfumes is amazing. She's a big fan of Musicology, and she actually sent me samples of all of them. And she says that Close to Midnight is her favourite perfume in her collection, and she has got one hell of a collection. So it's not just me that's endorsing this perfume. I think everybody should try this. I think you can actually get samples from Jovoy if you're in the UK. If not, if you're worldwide, then maybe go to Musicology Direct or just search the internet, because I'd love you to try and smell this one. I'm so impressed with this perfume. I think Natalie Lawson has knocked it out the park with this one. It's a fantastic house, and as I say, all 7 of these perfumes are absolutely stunning, and I'm really surprised I don't see or hear much more about Musicology in FragCon, but I think that will change. More and more people are going to love this house, and if you're going to try one, try Close to Midnight. Close to Midnight's probably a little easier, a little more unisex than Sun Goddess. Sun Goddess I absolutely adore, but this is quite a feminine leaning perfume, and I know some of you guys don't like particularly feminine perfumes. I absolutely adore this, and I quite like a feminine perfume. This one is much more unisex, and as I say, any age, guys, gals, anyone can wear this. All you need is a love of perfume. So there you have it, a very gushing review of an absolutely beautiful perfume. So listen guys, thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure making these videos. As I say, I've been away and I'm back at work now, so my holiday's over, so hopefully we can start churning out the videos at a more frenetic pace, shall we say. Anyway guys, take care. I hope you are all well, and we will see you soon on the next video. Many thanks, cheers, and bye.